The Summer Sweep Up blog was excellent. Last week we went through that and reviewed it. It was very good. However, Jagex has made some changes and some updates to the system and what they want to do going forward with the Sweep Up. I don't actually know when it's coming to the game. Hopefully very soon. So let's have a look here. They want to just say hello, thank you. They said something about Behemoth here, probably that he sucks. Naturally, just like the Project Rebalance, a lot of chatter has been on what's not mentioned rather than what it is. Okay, interesting, I didn't know that. So in the interest of managing expectations, we want to make it clear that we're not pulling in significant extra work on top of what we've already spoken about. We're aware of feedback around the likes of Corporeal Beast. Please don't tell me that they want... Oh, fuck. Okay. Cafe Queen, which is an S tier boss. Chamber of the Xeric loot / scrolls. All they need to do is make the scrolls rarer. Then, like do what they've done with the Event Defender and Hummo Top, but do it to the scrolls with Charms Mode Cox. That's it. That'll fix Chamber of the Xeric. I don't really know what the issue with Corp is necessarily, because I don't know if it's a solo issue or a grouping issue that people are having, so I guess we'll find that out. None of these projects are trivial, and we simply don't have the resource to tackle any of them with the delicacy and consideration that each need. Okay, cool. Well, good thing Project Xenos has been cancelled for now. So, elemental weaknesses and monster defenses. So, a lot of people are excited. They're quite happy with that. So, Gargoyles would be nice candidate for Earth and Air, for example. So, they can't do multi weaknesses, right? It says it's not possible. So, you get one or the other. People were like, oh, why not do both? Because they're this type, but also flying. So, understandable why they can't do both. The only change that they're making for this is to adjust Vorkaf to a fire weakness rather than water weakness. That means it breaks the pattern for dragons, but it makes sense considering he's icy, he's dead, he's rotting flesh, undead, perfect. Okay, sure, no worries. We don't expect anybody to really make use of this one, but it's a change nonetheless. Makes sense, because why would you fucking mage Vorkaf regardless? But I'm glad they're having a go. So, more significantly, we'd like to add a low-level spell to the standard spellbook, Monster Inspect. It's similar to Monster Examine, but will only reveal the monster's stats and elemental weakness. This means the players just starting out aren't as reliant on tabbing out to visit the OSRS wiki, and the newer players have a more intuitive way to learn about the different weaknesses of different monsters early into their journey, as opposed to waiting for Lunar Spellbook. No, I mean, I'm going to be real with you. I don't think anyone is fucking doing that at all. You know what this is actually going to do? Again, this is a hot take, but what this is actually going to do instead is it's going to shift everything in the spellbook, and then people that don't use the filtered spellbook especially are going to get mad because all their play spells are going to be changed and they're going to start misclicking the wrong spells again. Remember, the spellbook reordering is allowed by verified third-party clients now, so feel free to move this to the very end of your spellbook. There you go. So they're like, yeah, don't forget, if you're using a third-party client, you're all good. But we don't want you to be using third-party websites. You know, we don't want to encourage that too heavily because that would be too much work. So, well, what does Monster Examine do then? I just want to have a look very quickly, because other than stats and weakness, what the fuck else do you need from a monster? I don't care about its age. What does this tell us? Hit points, attack, defense, strength with mage rank, max hit. Attack style, right, so you just want to get max hit, attack style, combat level, which you can see, and hit points, which most bosses you can see the hit points. In fact, Runelight will tell you the hit points anyway. So, you won't see the levels, you'll just see the stats. Okay, so you'll just see the shit that matters anyway, right. Okay, well, that seems kind of pointless, but I mean, I'm not wrong. Unguided is the only one I've ever seen use it. Yeah, I can't imagine this being very useful, but that's good. Glad for them. We've removed the negative flat armor from Xanther. Who the fuck is Xanther? A Kingdom Divided has become a staple achievement for 10 HP accounts since Thralls. Are a complete game changer, but giving Xanther negative armor means they're forced to gain more hit points XP. Since he's not a repeatable boss or anything, we'll leave him alone for now. Okay, I don't know who the fuck Xanther is, but that's good. Alright, TOA changes. This is the big ones, okay? On a whole, seems like a lot of you are excited for the prospect of tomb raiding with some much requested tweaks. Okay, so we're not looking to make any further tweaks to Baba. We believe Red X still has a place since performing it correctly effectively mitigates the spooky part of preventing Grima from using debris rubble special attack, which I believe they're making that one more annoying, so you will then have to, you will still be taking damage from, or at least having to deal with mechanics, or you Red X, which you sacrifice speed for, so fair enough. Akka and the Stay Vigilant invocation, we're adjusting our proposal so that Akka only swaps style if he attacked you with a regular attack before performing a special attack. Okay. This means that if you are perfectly butterflying, then you shouldn't run into style swaps. Coupled with Akka only protecting against the style he's using, you should have some leeway here to make a mistake before being forced into a non-magic style for a phase. I think that is great. I think that's excellent. Cool. For Zebak, we agree that the wave pushing is iconic. We'll be investigating whether we can make the pushing smarter with your pathfinding so that it's less chaotic if you slip up once. But if our investigation leads to a dead end, then we'll have the waves deal reduced damage in subsequent hits instead. How about you make the poison not deal fucking 80 damage if you step on it for a game tick? Especially if you have poison resistance of any kind. That'd be really good. Just make it do like 6 damage, not fucking, 30. That'd be good. I would like that. That would actually be a bigger thing for Zebak Room than anything. Don't let the poison fuck you for no reason. For Kefri, we'll look into a bug where the Bone Dagger isn't acting as you'd expect if you're using a special attack on the entry. And try and tidy up the annoying scenario of getting hit by dung back to back if you send Kefri into a final phase while she's using an attack. We're not certain that this is fixable, but it is. If it is, then we'll get it done. I mean, you just stop rating of anyone using a Bone Dagger. That's always a good choice too. Now let's talk loot. We'll be moving forwards with changes here, and we think we've got a solid direction after some time going over the data. For those about that Bone Dagger comment, the horn's in the game now. You don't need a Bone Dagger. Fucking get rid of it, okay? Use a horn. Okay, decrease the volume of Osmonton's Fang and Lightbearers entering the game because they're considered undervalued, and delete the overall volume of tier A uniques entering the game because the rate is far too generous at the top end, warping the rest of the economy. Of course, okay. So an extra side goal is to try and make things healthier. We read this last fucking week, didn't we? Right? Yeah, we've seen these numbers already. So to counteract that, a raid level increase beyond 300, the weighting of the Fang and Lightbearer will decrease, meaning that you're more likely to see a Missouri piece, Tombing Shadow, or a ward. Right, okay. Whenever you hit that purple chest. We've got some approximate numbers here, but it's worth keeping in mind. That just means more Missouri chaps for me. These don't account for invocations like Walk the Path or Path Seeker, nor do they account for things like Skull Skipping, meaning your odds at high rates might be a little higher than indicated. Okay, so live purple chance is the light pink, and then dark purple is the new one, proposed. So as soon as you start hitting 350, you actually get a way fucking less purple chance. God damn. What's that, around like 7.5% chance over here rather than a fucking... Damn, okay, they're cutting that shit down by like 40%. Fuck me. Better get a light bearer? Well, no, I'll just do 300s anyway. I'm not doing anything more than like a 350 until I get a T-bow, because no one wants to do a fucking solo 400 Insanity Beaufort Warden, do they? Because it's gay as fuck. So, yeah, so just keep doing 300s. Understandable. I mean, even 350s. Because 300, 350s, what's the difference there? You just put on Walk the Path and you're good. The raid's going to be much faster now too, so I think that'll be a fine offset. You got to remember that the raid is going to be much quicker now with the other changes they propose, so you can understand a adjustment probably as big as the 350 changes anyway, right? The weightings will also change. The weightings will also change, you're correct, if you go past 300. Okay, cool. Furious Couch Surfing. Love that name. Thank you. Welcome to the membership, dude. I appreciate it. Thank you. Okay. A look at your chance for specific purples as raid level increases. Okay, so let's have a look here. This is for Fang, which applies to Lightbearer as well. Shadow, Missouri. We don't care about Missouri and Wood. Fuck, we care about the Fang, Lightbearer, and the Shadow, okay? So the left column of each one is current, and then the proposed ones are the ones on the right. So currently at 300, you're looking at 1 in 82 chance for a Fang or Lightbearer. Fuck, I hope I'm reading that wrong. And 1 in 579 for a Shadow currently at a 300. At a 5, let's go 450, 400s are roughly the sweet spot, right? 1 in 40 currently, they want to change it to 1 in 70. Right, okay, so it's, okay. They want to go from 1 in 40 for a Fang and Lightbearer to 1 in 70, right? At a 400 TOA? Fuck, look at the 500. 1 in 26 to 1 in 72. Shit, the bed. Right, okay. For a Shadow, 1 in 421 to 1 in 440, that's not too bad. 1 in 282 to 350, that's not bad. 1 in 185 to 216. It just gets better here for the shadow. What the fuck? That's actually fucking good. Okay. All right. I mean, it's still worse, but it's still like that's good still. 216 is not bad. Okay. I think that's fair. Shadow should be better at high levels. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I don't think those are necessarily bad changes, especially since the high levels you're getting, the Fang and the Light Bearer is shitter, right? Anything over 300, getting a Lang and Fight Bearer is significantly worse to get, which is what you want. And then, while everything is significantly worse to get, nothing is actually getting buffed. But the rate at which things get worse is significantly higher on the Lang and Fight Bearer than anything else, right? Does that make sense? Zippy, what's up, dude? Wait, what happened? What happened to the play buddy? Why does it go back to bronze? Oh, did you change your I think you changed your brand account around, hey? I think Rebel did that once. Sure, I'm glad I haven't grinded the shit out of tier 8 yet. Yeah, I mean, it's going to make the raid better as well, but if that means that I can start doing like 350s and it's really no different, but you get less fangs, sure. Thank you, Smoke like Julian, for the 3 months, dude. I appreciate that. Thank you. Start doing 400s. That's a way bigger fucking Fang and Light Bearer drop. I think that's not bad, personally. Yeah. Okay. I fuck with that. Wards, I don't really give a fuck about. Nor the Missouri pieces, whatever. Mortal Monkey, thank you for the 22 months. Appreciate that. Guys, I was going to mute the sounds for a sec. If you save those for the subathon, you'll be adding 5 minutes to the clock. So try to hold off on the flexes if you can going forward, because you're just actually giving me free time on the subathon. You want to make sure you make my life as worse as possible at that time, which is in 9 days. 15th of June, by the way. Make sure you come by. Do save those if you have them. More raid levels still mean more uniques. It's always worth pushing as far as you can go. On average, the raid levels above 300, you'll see purple chests less often. The relative increase in purple rate is reduced. Using our data for average completion times, you'll still be much more likely to see unique in 500 than 400, but uniques per hour between the two will likely be closer than before. Okay. High raid levels means you'll see considerably fewer fangs whenever you do get a purple chest. Conservatively, higher raid levels means you'll see slightly fewer shadows. This means that if you're waiting for a big ticket payday, you'll see the big one considerably more often if you're running 500s versus 400s. Okay, that's fine. Combining all this with the uniques coming from each raid level, this should result in a slight reduction for the volume of Tumican shadows, Eliteness wards, and Missouri armor pieces entering the game, and a considerable reduction for the Langs and the fight bearers. Okay, the caveat here is that these changes that we're making to the raid itself will also speed the raid up slightly, or perhaps drive more people to push in the raid level higher. So it's hard to predict exactly what things might shake out. Well, yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? I wouldn't panic by shadows. Naturally, for the irons among you, I don't give a fuck about what ironmen have to say. On top of all this, we're looking to make all the untradeable jewels more common and add some more determinism to obtaining them. The disparity in your enjoyment running raid level 400 with or without a Keras partisan of the sun is day and night, with some players having hundreds of kill count without the all-important yellow jewel. Got to make sure these are much more generous so that you can not rely on RNG within the raid to be able to keep pushing those raid levels. I mean, if you get some friends, you can get through without a yellow Keras, I reckon, for sure. Just change your invocations around a bit too. But, yeah. I think those are good. I like that. I'm all for rarer uniques provided the raid is better. For sure. No more red X needed. Yeah. Which makes the bubble room infinitely faster as well, because you don't lose that game tick every attack. But you do have those more mechanics, so it may make up for it a little bit when running to certain boulders sometimes. But yeah, I don't know when it's going live. They haven't said anything. All right, so they're going to make some more changes here. They reduce the rarity of the Sleepy tablet, and adjust the dry protection. Closer to 1 in 25 than the current 1 in 100. Okay, fair. In the same vein, dying at the Nightmare or Facade Nightmare will pop you out nearby rather than your respawn location, similar to Yama. Yeah, that's big. This should make learning curve a little less tedious. Yeah, that's fucking huge. I think that's one great thing about Yama, is when you die, you're outside of Yama's lair. Like, I noticed that on release. I haven't even, I've noticed it, but I haven't clicked how good it is. But fuck, it's actually... maybe I did say it on release. I think it's fucking good that when you die at Yama, you're outside of Yama and you're like... That's it, you know? That's the cat's pajamas, dude. It's the bee's knees. Bee's knees? Adjust Briarfighter's Growthlings to be left clickable if you have an axe equipped, rather than requiring you to use the axe. Yeah, but is it still one tick if you do that? Add a cooldown for growthlings spawning so that you can't get spammed multiple waves than back to back. Okay. High scores for Obo or Brofighter to be for chest openings. Okay. Introduce players to Obo or Brofighter. Require them to use at least one key to get their respective layers, meaning new players should still learn about them passively if you get lucky while killing. Okay. Make the Dragon Hunter wand 2x more common rather than 3x. Considering how good the wand is with our proposed changes, especially for Ancient Magics, we think it could stand to be a little tougher to obtain than initially written down. Add a left click feed option to Duke so that you can use your potions on... Oh, fuck, that would be so good. Yeah, that's fucking massive. Because I do the mushroom method where I'm just fucking... But if I could just fucking... That'd be good. Allow Grandmaster Combat Achievers to gain the Slayer Helm bonus while off task for the Fight Caves. Alongside the Inferno. Can't control rotations. We can't control for rotations at this point, so you still need to wait around a little if you're looking for ideal speedrunning spawns, okay? Yeah, speedrunners, that's good. At least you won't need the Tourist skip, sure. Adjust Greatest Guardian's Rockfall attack so that the outer radius of the attack doesn't stun the player. The center tile will stun. All the 3x3 will still deal damage. Okay, that's cool. I'm fine with taking damage. The stun is what's cringe. Okay, that's an excellent poll. Excellent change to the blog. I think the Duke is the sleeper fucking update there. That's a big update for me personally. I think that's huge. Sleepy Tablet and the Nightmare change is massive. The table here I think is completely acceptable. I think that's totally fine. Yep, very good. 1 pound fish. Looks fine. The grade is much faster as well. These changes seem pretty good too. I don't know why they don't look at the Zebak poisoning, just tone it down a little bit, but that's fine otherwise. Yeah. And elemental weaknesses. I don't use elemental weaknesses because I'm not a fucking idiot. Otherwise, looks good. I'm W Jagex. Very nice. Very good. This is the easiest move in the raid. It's quite simple. You got a big boy. Look at him. God damn. Fuck me. Look at that boy. It's huge.